How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Dead Space. Jumping into Chapter 3 here as we're just kind of flying around this ginormous open hangar bay area. And I did edit out kind of a couple minutes of me just flying around, grabbing various trinkets and treasures and items and shit. Because I did feel like it would be kind of boring just watching me fly around like Iron Man for 10 minutes straight. But I did want to show some stuff, like where you can get that bronze semiconductor, because, you know, there's really nothing crazy important out here, except for one item, which I do show you how to get that. So, there's really only, like, one major item that you want to look out for, and even that's, like, kind of just associated with the side quest. But we'll be getting that. And aside from that, there's really just a bunch of like money and ammo that you can get around here, but there is a ton of it. So I do recommend that you just devote as much time as you want to just exploring this area. There's no enemies. You can just fly around and break boxes and open containers, and just it's a nice little, like, I don't know, it's a little reprieve, I guess. But I guess since there's really not much to talk about for this little stretch of me just kind of flying around grabbing shit, I kind of want to talk about, like, I sort of scratched the surface on this in the first video, but why am I doing post-commentary for this series as opposed to just playing the game and doing live commentary, which is what I usually do? And, like I said, like, the reason for me doing post-commentary was mainly just because I kind of wanted a break from live commentary in a way. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, and at the end of the day, I do prefer doing live commentary as opposed to playing the game and then sitting in silence and then recording commentary over the recorded gameplay. But the reason I wanted to kind of flip the script for this game specifically was because I wanted to do a run where I could just really focus on the gameplay and the strategies and tactics and the notes that I was taking to, you know, get more efficient at doing the chapters quicker and getting all the, you know, not all the items, but, you know, getting a sufficient amount of shit done the way that I would like. And to do that while having to do live commentary and play the game super well while also having to, like, be entertaining and make jokes and be funny the whole time, it's kind of taxing, because it's different when you're playing a game casually, you know? Like, when you're playing a game just to play it and, you know, whatever the fuck, no fucks given type shit, you can just, it doesn't matter. Like, you can just shoot the shit with your commentary, and it's pretty easy to do for the most part. But it does reach a point where trying to play a game, like, you know, efficiently and, like, well, to a point where you're trying to get better at it, but you're also straining yourself in multiple directions because you're trying to do entertaining and fun commentary. I don't know, it's just, I want to take a bit of a break from live commentary and just take a bit more of a casual approach, I suppose. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with that. Am I going to do more live commentary stuff? Absolutely, because I do prefer it. I do love just, you know, playing games and just doing commentary live. I feel like I'm just, you know, better at it. It's more fun. But anyway, coming over here, the only item that you really want to look out for is this bad boy, which is Volker's rig. That's part of a bit of a side quest where we have to obtain a total of 3 of the crew members' rigs so that we can get a master security override that will allow us to open a bunch of doors and shit. It's pretty sweet. We won't be able to actually, like, finish the quest until I want to say chapter 6, if I'm correct, but yeah. Just ignore these lurkers right here because they're really easy to avoid, and you just go ahead and save the ammo and fly past them. All about saving ammo. But yeah, we pick up Volker's rig right there, and then we end up picking up White's rig in the next chapter, or the chapter after. I think it is the next chapter. I'm like 90% sure. Yeah. I also think I got disoriented as fuck in this little room, but all good. We picked up some items. It's easy to get disoriented when you're in, like, zero gravity, especially when you're going through these sort of, like, labyrinthian tunnels and shit. Yeah, for some reason the waypoint was like, go up, when I was really just supposed to drop down right there. Alright. Good old security clearance level 2, saving the day for us once again with another optional room with a bunch of items. This room in particular kind of reminds me of like a safe room in Resident Evil. Except without the peaceful music, you know? Dude, I used to love the safe room music in the Resident Evil games. Shit was so cool. Go ahead and pause if you want to read this. If not, I don't, you know, do whatever you want to do, man. Whatever floats your boat. I already played through the game on my own time and read them all on my own time, so... I don't have a horse in this race. Alright, this little area is pretty much the hub of this chapter. I went ahead and saved here too, just for shits and giggles. I think this is the first save that I made for this playthrough that wasn't just an autosave. But yeah. Go and run over here and activate that bad boy.
Seeing you in the control room. Any news on the engines?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. They're out of fuel. The centrifuge is offline. We're tethered to a 4 trillion ton payload. Without the engines, it's dragging us down to the planet.
Can you handle it alone?
Sure. Fix the centrifuge, get the fuel running, then do a full restart. But you'll need the stabilizer orbit from there.
Standing by. Fast as you can, Isaac.
Engineering log. Acting Chief Engineer Jacob Temple reporting. Christ, still can't believe the chief is gone. It's all fallen apart since the captain died. Everyone down here is on their last nerve. We thought the rioting was the worst of it. So those things came through the vents. Space. Fuck, those were my lunch buddies, Liz's friends, old boyfriends. And out of nowhere, the engines were screwed. Primaries laboring, we're hemorrhaging fuel. Fuck if I know why. I'm taking Danvers to the fuel depot to fix it. Gotta keep the team focused or we'll crack. Simple out.
So, coming down into the engineering area here, we find the Ripper, and the first thing I do is take the Ripper to storage. And here's the thing. I actually like the Ripper. I really do. The Ripper is pretty cool, and it's a fun weapon to use, but I just didn't feel like using it for this playthrough, and because I wanted it, it's not a very practical weapon. So, I moved it to storage, and here's the thing. If you're not going to use a weapon, you always want to get that shit out of your inventory and into storage as quickly as you can, because the game will spawn ammo for that weapon instead of for weapons that you're actually using. But anyway, coming over here, there's a Necromorph that plays dead, so I like to grab the limb of his buddy and then chuck it at him to get a little head start and save some ammo. And then I grab his limb and throw it at him and finish him off. Boom. Easy peasy. Through this door is the next part of the Nicole quest.
Autopsy report, Dr. Nicole Brennan. Rig identifies the subject was junior engineer David Swenson. The subject was dismembered after falling into machinery, allowing... God. So sorry. Some postmortem spasms. The chest contains a yellow vial seen in other specimens. I've seen this vial react to dead or bioprosthetic cells. The dead tissue is absorbed, recombined, then reanimated. The vial shares genetic markers with human DNA and the growth on the walls. It's all connected to the marker from Aegis 7, but how? Dr. Kine studied the marker. Dr. captured kind has vanished. Unless he's with the survivors on the mining deck. You'll rest easy now, David. I promise.
We also get a gold semiconductor in the wall safe there. But yep, that room is optional. But obviously I would definitely recommend you continue that quest. Because why not? Why not?
Security request retrieved.
Nice jump scare in the bathroom thanks to the malfunctioning showers.
Like, Henderson, your teeth! He's pulling his teeth out! Just hold him! Where the fuck is security?
So that leaper is actually not going to be an issue until much later. Pretty much kind of towards the end of the chapter. But also, I was like convinced there was something down there for some reason. So I was like, come on, Kinesis. Yeah, gimme. Anyway, I like to grab this explosive canister and plop that sucker down right there. Because this happens. And you can just kind of kill this guy. I do wait a couple seconds because this game has a tendency to give the Necromorphs invincibility frames. So keep in mind when a Necromorph bursts out of a vent and you know shit like that, when they burst out of the floor or when they genuinely just jump out at you, they will usually have invincibility frames that last for about a second or so. So you want to keep an eye peeled for that before you try to blow them up or throw kinesis rods at them. Also, my kinesis decided to malfunction here for some reason. Wouldn't grab this box. Goofy ass sci-fi technology bullshit. Alright, so as you cross this bridge, you will get attacked by a Necromorph from the front and another one from the back. So if you place those barrels accordingly, or canisters I should say, you should be able to use them to get pretty much 2 super easy kills. And get yourself out of that ambush, lickety-split. Also, if you come up here, this door is just a shortcut back to the control room. And I like to come back through here because of what you just saw in the window. There's an infector creating an enhanced Necromorph. So I like to come in here and just deal with this with a nice grenade. Look how fucking gross that... Ugh. The enhanced Necromorphs, dude, like, when I first played Dead Space as a little kid, the enhanced Necromorphs scared the shit out of me. I thought the regular ones were terrifying enough, but now they got, like, muddy-looking, like, tar-covered Necromorphs. They look like the Tar Man from Return of the Living Dead. Which, if you've never seen that movie, I would highly recommend it. It's so fun and just perfectly cheesy. It's actually a great movie. I watched that movie for the first time when I was dog sitting at my mom's house. It was super random. It was great. Also, we're doing like the old Isaac head bob animation. If you press the ADS button quick enough, he'll just kind of go. But yeah, I like to have the pulse rifle ready for this part because we're about to have our first encounter with a brand new enemy type. And this asshole is capable of shooting projectiles. Speak of the devil, there he is. Yeah, these are called spitters. They were not in the original Dead Space. This was a remake edition enemy. But I like to deal with this by shooting those canisters and just spamming pulse grenades because you can actually die really quick on that part. Those spitters will make... The spitters do a lot of damage on hard, so... Definitely worth noting. Pretty much everything does a lot of damage on hard, but, like, the spitters especially. So, as we come through here, we will, finally locate the fuel station keycard so we can open up that door, and I think it might actually be the only one. So that Necromorph fucks off, and he leaves us to his friend here, so just grab that rod off the wall and chuck it.
We need to restart the south refueling station, but some jackass turned off the power and locked up the circuit breaker.
There's the keycard right there on the left after we grab this other shit.
What now? There's got to be someone around here who had a spare access card. Go. Wait, you hear that? Stavros, go!
barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here. Isaac, I tracked down your rig. You're in engineering, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
So on this part, you have the choice of whether or not you want to reroute the power from the lights or the life support. I like to go with the life support just because I prefer to do this with the lights on, because it gets really fucking dark and hard to see in this shit. But you can honestly just go with whatever. It really just depends on how you would rather cripple yourself. Like, you have to make a choice, so you might as well make whichever one's best for you. I opt for the life support because there's an oxygen refill station, and it's actually really easy to just bypass these enemies and get to the oxygen recharge and then get through to the other side without running out of air.
I still need to get the centrifuge working before restart. Someone really screwed with these fuel lines.
Move fast, Isaac. Aegis 7's looking damn close out there.
Now, if you are going to avoid these enemies like I just did, you want to be careful and sort of be ready to dodge projectiles while you're on the elevator, because they will shoot shit at you from kind of a long distance. These are some sweaty, try-hard necromorphs that just don't quit. But once you finally get to the other side, I think there's another oxygen refill station, but once you get to the other side, you're pretty much, the coast is clear. I think a lurker attacks you along the catwalk there. I don't know why I suddenly kind of turned into a southerner. You're gonna get hit on by a lurker up on this catwalk, so just get your fucking cattle prod and lasso ready and wrangle that sucker up. Yeah, there he is. And hit him with stasis and just shoot him in the arms. I was trying to shoot a limb at him, but it wasn't in the cards. Probably because I turned the life support systems off, which maybe had something to do with like gravity pressure. I have no idea. Maybe the stasis fucked it up. At the end of the day, who cares? I'm all about wasting ammo. Alright. Take a pit stop at the store. Go ahead and sell the semiconductor, sell those ripper blades too, unless you're planning on using the ripper, which if you are, that's fine. The ripper's an okay weapon. It's just like, especially playing the game on hard, I would rather just focus all my resources and effort into the guns that are going to get me through the game the best, I will say the Ripper is really good in the remake specifically if you upgrade it. Like, it has some kind of like ricochet upgrade that you can get, and that thing is so good at just delimbing necromorphs. Like, it actually is. And the Ripper, it's actually fairly economical because the ammo is pretty cheap. So, yeah, there's that. The Ripper definitely has its benefits, but I just didn't want to use it for this playthrough. So I'm positioning those little stasis tanks sort of in a position where we'll be able to use them in a fight coming up. It's not like a super difficult fight or anything, but the stasis tanks definitely make it a little bit easier. Alright, so this is what I like to call the quarantine chamber. That might actually be what it's called. I actually have no idea. But before we go in there, obviously, I'm going to gather this next stasis tank over here. Read this log if you care. I feel like I ended up using that workbench too, but I can't remember. I really don't remember. Okay, I did use the bench. At this point, I think I started upgrading the, once I start, well, I mean, I got the plasma cutter, I think, maxed out first, but after that, I started going for pulse rifle upgrades. Because the pulse rifle really falls off if you don't upgrade it. And if you want to get the most out of that alt fire, aka the grenade launcher on the pulse rifle, it's really good to upgrade the capacity on it. Alright, so first thing that attacks you in this room, 2 lurkers. They come at you one by one, though, at least if you kill the first one quick enough. So, the easiest way to identify where they're going to come in from is to just kind of glance around at the ceiling. And then, when you see something pop in, you know where they're going to be. And then another lurker shows up. And then, I think one slasher shows up, and then a leaper? I think a leaper shows up. So yeah, really not the hardest fight in the world. It's really not, but I ended up going for the old ammo-saving stomp on this idiot. Which, at this point in the game, I wouldn't, like, wholeheartedly recommend the stasis stomp, because enemies do start to get tankier. This asshole actually landed a hit on me. Son of a bitch. But, yeah, the stasis stomp is kind of hit or miss at this point in the game, because enemies just get tankier, and also, I think I mentioned this at some point, but enemies can actually attack you in stasis. Like, if they're in the middle of an attack animation and you put them in stasis, but the attack actually hits you, even if it's in slow-mo, you'll still take damage. And it's actually, like, not full damage, but it's quite a bit of damage. But after you grab that power node, you'll get ambushed by these 2 little twerps. So just do the old usual wombo combo on the tentacles. But yeah, just keep in mind, like, just in case you're thinking, oh, I know how I'm going to save ammo. I'll just do the stasis stomp all game, or I'll use stasis and then I'll get in close and do some melee. Like, don't do it. shit doesn't work. But take note of those bloody holes in the wall. That might just mean something here in a little bit. Maybe it will. Alright. Welcome to the next Zero Gravity Puzzle Room. Alright, so if you guys remember this puzzle from the original Dead Space, it's pretty much the exact same. Like nothing has changed. It is the exact same puzzle where you use stasis to freeze the, you know, little fucking doohickey things. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a space mechanic. I'm not Isaac Clarke, fucking space connoisseur. But yeah, you just, you know, use stasis to freeze it up, and then you pull it into the vaginal socket thing. And then it makes spaceship coitus with the engine, and you're good to go. It's the exact same puzzle, so I really don't need to explain it, but you're about to see how it's done anyway. But what I'm doing now is, there's a leaper trying to kill me, and I was just trying to, like, save some ammo. And you can already tell the enemies are getting a little bit tankier, because that leaper didn't even die after, like, getting blasted with a canister head on. So the enemies are, you know, definitely, even just in Chapter 3, they're already getting, like, stronger. Yeah, I just kind of floated around to grab items for a little bit. Because there's really not a whole lot to grab in here, but, you know, a couple of boxes to smash, and then hit that bitch with stasis, and then plug it in. There's something, like, weirdly satisfying about that. I'm not even talking in a sexual way. I'm just saying, like, it looks cool. How come I don't get to go to Dead Space? I just want to visit. Yeah, every time you complete a part of this puzzle, you'll get attacked by, like, another leaper. I keep calling them lurkers, almost. Yeah. Didn't die, and I also did a little bit of splash damage to myself. Plus, he stung me like a scorpion, little bitch. It is, like, insane how much more damage the enemies do on hard versus medium. Alright. So now that we've done that, So we're gonna go recharge our stasis before we do the next thing, because this is kind of gonna be our only opportunity to do that. Because the next part of this puzzle, aka, you know, turning the engine back on and whatnot, that is just going to initiate a whole nother sequence where we won't be able to get to that stasis recharge station. So here we go. God, this shit looks so cool.
Centrifuge activated. Re-establishing balance with tectonic load.
Alright, so this sequence was also in the original game, for those of you who remember, and it's really, like, not hard.
The centrifuge is back online. All that's left is restarting the engines, right?
Just make sure that you time your movements so that you don't get fucking crushed by that thing, and do not try to skip these little, like, inlets where you can hide. So for this part, what I like to do is use a grenade to kill that Necromorph super quick and then run past him. But it didn't work because I missed my grenade like an absolute fucking chode. So what I ended up having to do was take a beating from this douche and killing him real sloppily like that. Like, that's just bad. But hey, at least I survived. And there's a nice oxygen recharge station right behind me that it looks like I don't even know about, but I knew about it. See? See? But yeah, once you get past that little hurdle with the two Necromorphs, you're home free. You just go up the lift and you're out of here. You are out of here. Yeah, normally I get past that part like really smoothly. And I was kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to make it look all cool and smooth for my fucking run here, but it is what it is. I just missed my fucking grenade. That was pathetic. Alright, so for this part, make sure that you have your plasma cutter equipped beforehand, because the plasma cutter is the best weapon for this. You can use the pulse rifle too, but the pulse rifle takes a ton of ammo. Tons of ammo. I mean, the plasma cutter takes a lot too, but, like, you know, it's a little bit preferable to just dying over and over because the pulse rifle refuses to kill it. But yeah, that was the tentacle monster. Hentai enthusiasts rejoice, am I right? I'm just joking. You get the fuck out of here if you're one of those. Nah, I'm just joking. We accept all sexual proclivities here. Why not, man? Alright. So, some monsters show up in the hallway, as you can probably hear behind me, but if you just sort of, like, book it through here, which I went the wrong way anyway, because I'm a dummy. I went the complete wrong way. If you book it through here, those enemies will usually just ignore you or just do their own thing. And now we get to go turn the engines on. Turn those engines on like Papa John, am I right? It's a hard rap. I think at this point too, I can't remember, but I think I was contemplating going back to the control room so I could hit up the store. I don't remember if I did that. Well, that remains to be seen. We'll find out together. Okay, I did do that. Nice. Alright. Drop off that stupid schematic just to get it out of the inventory. Sell the semiconductor. And that's it. Saving our money for now. I believe we get the level 3 suit in chapter 5? At the beginning of chapter 5? It becomes available at the very end of chapter 4, I think.
What do you mean?
This outbreak started on the colony after the miners dug up some artifacts. Something alien.
That's impossible.
But it would explain why Aegis 7 is meant to be off limits, right? Earth God's orders. When the miners found the artifact, they reported hallucinations, paranoia, suicides. But the Ishimura brought this marker on board anyway. Like that was a plan.
Wait. A marker.
Okay, back up. Where's this marker now?
In cargo. All packaged up for delivery.
You guys like how I just got scooped up by that fan blade, but it worked out perfectly and it plopped me down right where I needed to do. That was like an unintentional speedrun strat. That was beautiful. But, alright, yeah. Divert the power from the fans here to airlock 2, and then ignore those enemies that show up. A couple of lurkers show up, but you can just ignore the crap out of them, because fuck them. We do end up going back through that room, at which point the lurkers aren't there anymore, so lucky break. Now we have to start dealing with these disgusting, like, wall things. Wall zits that block areas. And there's the flamethrower. Courtesy of this poor bastard on the wall here. So the flamethrower is another weapon that's like really good to have. Speaking of which, look at that dope poster. Dude, I want that poster. Just Isaac repping that flamethrower. The flamethrower is actually like not great, but I do use it strictly because the alt fire is really, really, really useful. The alt fire is basically like a firebomb grenade, and it's really good against certain enemies. Specifically, pregnants, that I believe we run into for the first time in this level. Jump scare. I also really like the little detail of how when you shine your flashlight in their faces, they like freak out. And they're like, "Ugh, light! Me, I'm a vampire." Yeah, I like to call those guys wall goblins, and they're kind of a minor inconvenience at worst. You really never have to do anything. Like, they are killable, but you never have to actually kill them.
I think my team is gone. I found the kinesis module that someone used to bust the centrifuge. Burned out. Who would sabotage the Ishimura at a time like this? I'll report to the bridge, if anyone's left. And then I'm finding Elizabeth and getting us the hell off this ship.
Alright. Continuing the temple saga, baby. Alright, so make sure you come down in this room because there's a power node in here. This room is also really dark, so, you know, just be ready. Power node is like somewhere. Oh, wait, no, I already picked up the power node. I'm high, dude. I'm so stupid. I just picked it up. But yeah, we'll stop off the bench to continue our plasma cutter shenanigans. We'll eventually get all the plasma cutter upgrades, and we'll node out the entire gun. Probably get a good old-fashioned trophy for doing that, too. Alright, so up ahead, get the flamethrower ready, because this is one of the only things that the flamethrower is good for, is dealing with these little enemies here. They are called... What are these things called again? God damn it, I can't even remember. I always just call them buggers. Well, I guess I'll just keep calling them that. That poor guy. But yeah, the flamethrower is really good against those things. I mean, if you really want, you can use the pulse rifle. Also, I forgot about this guy, so I decided to burn him. Also, Necromorphs on fire will take more damage from melee attacks. I don't recommend that you make, like, a, you know, strategy out of that, but it is a thing. Yeah, the main thing I use the flamethrower for is for its alt fire, which I'll demonstrate right now. So that enemy is called a pregnant, and the best way to kill them is with a firebomb. Because if you kill them pretty much any other way, I mean fighting them, they're pretty much just like a normal necromorph. They attack kind of like a slasher, except they're fat and they're kind of slow. But they can give birth to either buggers or lurker babies. And that's, you know, neither one of those scenarios are good. So to kill him really quickly while also preventing it from giving birth, and you just hit it with the firebomb. The pulse rifle grenade is sometimes a good option. The contact beam is another good option, but we don't have that gun yet, so. My favorite use for the flamethrower is definitely the using it against wall guardians, which we run into in chapter 5, I think. Yeah, definitely chapter 5. Wall guardians fucking blow. Also, I don't really know why my stasis, like, bounced off that Necromorph. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or, like, or what. But I wasn't happy about it. So, some more buggers show up from up here, and also a spitter. So what I like to do is I try to, like, wait for this spitter to come out so I can do that. But for some reason, he survived the explosion. Like a fucking piece of fucking poop. So I tried to burn him with the flamethrower, and my flamethrower, I think, ended up hitting that barrel behind him and blowing him up. So it all worked out. Also, flamethrower ammo is also really cheap. I would say the two weapons that the game is, like, really generous with ammo-wise would be the pulse rifle and the flamethrower. And the Ripper. Holy shit, the Ripper, too. If you've got the Ripper in your inventory, the game is like, say less, motherfucker. Here, have some Ripper blades. Have 10 of them. Have 10,000 of them. Oh, what? Your inventory's full because you got so many Ripper blades? Why don't you go sell them? We'll just give you some more. The game is really generous with the pulse rifle and the Ripper in terms of ammo. They're really cheap, and you also just get a whole lot just from spawns. Speaking of Ripper blades. Also, I did not anticipate that I would get attacked while trying to go to the store. But I definitely did. I totally forgot that enemies will sometimes show up in this room. The control room is never 100% safe. It's actually kind of rare that enemies will show up here, but the aggressor AI decided, like, hey, you know, this guy, let's fuck him up, throw an enemy his way. If you don't know what aggressor AI is, basically this game is constantly measuring, like, how well you're doing, and once you start, like, you know, doing good, according to the aggressor AI, it'll start spawning more enemies in places you've already been, and, you know, enemies that wouldn't ordinarily be there. So, yeah. Aggressor AI is definitely more prevalent when you play on hard and impossible, so. Also, the waypoint tries to fuck you over here when you backtrack. So, also, I don't know what was going on with this Necromorph. Like, I really don't. This Necromorph is supposed to, like, he plays dead, and then he's supposed to spring to life and attack you. But for some reason, he was, like, dead when I went over there, which didn't make sense, because he wasn't there when I went through there a few seconds before. I don't know what the hell that was. That was like a glitch, but maybe the aggressor AI glitched and just, like, fucking shot that guy in the back of the head. So, in this room, I like to, again, kind of just have my pulse rifle ready with the grenades, because there's enemies galore in here. And if you line them up correctly, you can actually kill, like, pretty much all of them with 1 or 2 grenades, but alas, I didn't do that. Yeah, the pulse rifle is, like, really bad against, you know, it's bad at dismembering the Necromorphs. It just isn't that good unless you're using the grenades. But we got another pregnant here, so get ready with another firebomb. Also, this room has, like, a lot of loot, just, like, random crap kind of strewn around. So I'd recommend you kind of take your time coming through here and grab whatever you can. Also, the last power node of the chapter is right here. I believe that's another, like, 4 power nodes. Also, if you're wondering what that pause was, I had to actually edit that part out because I had to get up and take a piss. So I had to pause the game, and I was suffering. I just remembered that. Wow, I really had to fucking pee when I was recording this. I just went to my toilet and gave it, like, the Niagara Falls treatment. But, yeah, when you're done looting in here, grab the battery from up over here and stuff it in here. And get ready for more Necromorphs. So, a couple of slashers show up, and they're actually kind of, like, look, they're kind of aggressive. They come at you pretty quick. And I was not ready for this guy, so I just stasised him and ran away. I was like, I didn't want to, like, use ammo on him, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Who even cares? Even on hard mode, the game is just constantly showering you with pulse rifle ammo. Yeah, 2 spitters show up. One spitter I just killed. The other one's right there. Hit him with the old stasis. And then I tried to kill him with a grenade because I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't even want to deal with this. But then I realized I was getting ganked up on. So I was like, alright, you know what? Time to employ some real tactics. Ugh, and a burp. Trying to throw that Necromorph's arm at him didn't exactly work. So that could have gone better, but it could have gone worse, you know. I didn't die, so... Still haven't died a single time during this playthrough. Also, if you want a little spoiler alert, I've currently recorded... I just got done recording Chapter 5, so I just have to upload Chapter 4 and 5 and then do the commentary and then upload all that, and then I'm off to Chapter 6. I still haven't died, so I don't expect me to die at any point in this playthrough. I don't think it's going to happen. I may have just jinxed myself violently, but I think I'm doing a no-death run here. I really do. Alright, so with that all lickety-split and done, I don't know why I said that. That was the... With that all lickety-split and done, I'm gonna be the most dapper man in the haberdashery if I keep talking like that.
The Ishimura's moving again.
No thanks to whoever sabotaged the fuck out of these engines.
You bought us time to figure it out. Autopilot's taking us into geostationary orbit.
Wait, you're flying us through the planet crack debris?
That's what the asteroid defense system is for.
But the ADS is offline. I've got the system readouts here.
Damn it, the Ishimura's a rough shit.
Also, I don't know what the fuck happened here with I guess this Necromorph just decided his home planet needed him or something. He just like ran away. He was like, oh, I'll see you later.
Give me all the data you have.
I'll send you a postcard, Isaac.
Isaac, you disable the tram lockdown from engineering. I'll open up the bridge station. Meet me there. We need to work on this together.
And with that, that's pretty much the end of Chapter 3. The longest chapter so far. But before we mop things up, obviously we've got some stuff to do. Shopping and such.
I'm here. Nicole! Damn it.
Damn it. Alright. So that closes the curtain on Chapter 3, course correction. Now it's time for Chapter 4, Obliteration Imminent. That's a pretty fucking sick name for a chapter, if I do say so myself. That's a pretty, like, pretty cool name. But I think I was just running back to the save station. And that was it. But yeah, that's going to be it for Chapter 3. And obviously, we have to, like, look at this each time because I fucking have the video uploaded privately. But yeah, I'm going to upload the public version of this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Chapter 3. Chapter 4 will be coming soon. And Chapter 5 will be coming pretty much immediately after that because I was actually able to get those two done pretty quick because Chapter 4 and 5, or Chapters 4 and 5 are actually pretty short. So, yes. I haven't actually started on Chapter 6 yet, so I haven't even taken any notes. I don't got nothing done for Chapter 6. Obviously, I've played this game a fucking million times, so I know about Chapter 6, but I haven't done it. I haven't done any, like, you know, dedicated note-taking for this playthrough yet. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you next time for Chapter 4.